Okay, just a few starter questions to remind you of what we did last time. So if you want to just press pause and see if you can write down the answer to these 6 questions. Okay, so the answer should be for 1a to one significant figure, we should be getting 2,000. So because we need to put the zeros in for the 4, 9 and 6. For b to one significant figure, that's going to be 400, and we don't need to put a 0 on there. If you've put 400.0, then technically you're still right, but there's no point in putting the 0 on the end, really. For number 2, the 2 significant figures then, so the 2 significant figures, this one is going to be cut off after the 9, the 7's going to round the 9 to a 10, so it's going to become 0.060. And to 2 significant figures, this one is going to become 3,200,000. To 3 significant figures, this one's going to be 55,500, and the last one is going to be to 3 significant figures, 0.00464. Okay, well done. So we're going to move on then, and we're going to revise volume of a prism. So our learning intentions are that we can find recall the formula for the volume of a prism. We need to know that off by heart, substitute in the right dimensions into the formula, and evaluate it and make sure we use the right units. And as a bit of extension, we can find the missing dimension when we're given the volume of the prism. Okay. And we already know how to do a lot of this because, of course, a cube or a cuboid is a prism, a cylinder is a circular prism, and we've looked at those before. So this should be mostly revision for you. Okay, so just a quick reminder what you should know. So from your previous work, you should know how to find the area of all of these shapes, and you need to know all these formulas off by heart. So area of a square rectangle, length times breadth. Area of a triangle, you can think of it as half base times height, or you can do base times height divided by 2, either is fine. Remember the height has to be perpendicular to the base on a triangle. Okay, so straight up from it at a right angle. For a circle, a equals pi r squared, we need to know that. For a parallelogram, all we do is multiply the base times the height. Perpendicular height again. A rhombus or a kite, it's a half times the 2 diagonals. So diagonal 1, diagonal 2, and then multiply them and half it. And then a trapezium, it's the trickiest one to remember really, is that we need to do a half of a plus b, so the top, the 2 parallel lines added together, times the height. Okay, of course you've always got the option with the trapezium, depending on the dimensions you're given, that you could split it up into 2 triangles and a rectangle and work out the area that way. But we need to learn all these formulas off by heart, because if we don't know those, then this volume topic is going to become quite tricky. Okay, so we're going to look at the volume of a prism. So just a reminder, a prism is a 3D shape that has a constant cross-section along its length. So here's an example of a few prisms. We've got some rock. You know, if you bought some rock when you were on holiday, whatever the picture or the words are at the end of this part of the rock, it's the same word at the other end, and no matter where you chop it or bite it, you would have that same word. So that's the same cross section the whole way through. We've got here a picture of some Billy Bear ham, because it's a good example of how no matter where you slice that ham, you're always going to end up with the Billy Bear face the whole way through it. So it's a prism. And down here there's a triangular prism, so the face at this end has to be the exactly same as the face at that end. So no matter where you slice through the prism, it would be the exactly same face. That's the definition of a prism. So we're going to look at how you find the volume of some prisms. Okay, so first of all, the formula for the volume of a prism is you need to take the area of its cross section, so the slice in effect, and times it by the height of the prism. Sometimes it's called the height, sometimes it's called the length. We're going to call it the height. Now this formula is not given to you in any exam, so you need to know this off by heart, that if you're asked to find the volume of any prism, you need to find the area of the end of it and times it by the height. So if it was a triangular prism, you would be using your triangle formula, half base times height, and then times it by that length. if it was, this is like a trapezium at the end of this prism, so you would need to use your formula for the area of a trapezium, half A plus B times H, and times by the height there. And we're going to look at a few more examples. Okay, so if you can copy that slide down as a note. Okay, and I've got 3 examples here. So find the volume of these prisms. So the first one we've got, you can see here, it's a hexagonal prism because it's got a hexagon at the top and bottom. But we've been told the area of the end of it. Okay, so sometimes in easier examples, they might tell you, especially if it's an irregular prism, what the area of the end is. In which case, all you need to know is that you just need to do the area of the end times the height. So for this one, the volume is the area times the height, 80 times 15, which is 1200 centimeters cubed. Okay, because the area on the end was centimeters squared and we've times it by centimeters again. So volume's always in cubic units. For B, we have got a cuboid. So a cuboid, of course, has a rectangle on the end of it. And we know how to find the area of a rectangle. It's length times breadth. Okay. Because of the way this cuboid's been drawn, they've called this bit the base and this bit the height. But it's the same thing no matter which way around you're going to call it. So it's find the area of one side and times by how far back it goes. So I've done 3 times 5 times by 8 and got 120 centimeters cubed. And then we've got a triangular prism at the end here. So you can see the base of the triangle is 5, the perpendicular height is 4, and the length of the prism is 7.2. So I find the area of the triangle at the end by doing a half times base times height, and then times that by the length of the prism or the height of the prism, which is 7.2, and that's worked out to be 72 centimeters cubed. Okay, so if you can copy those 3 examples into your jotter as well. There's a few here for you to try then. So we've got cuboids on this slide here. You can go ahead and work these out. You can use a calculator for it if you need to, but please do write out the formula each time and show all the working that you're doing. Make sure you have the right units. And once you've done that, if you can try the TJ 4 plus page 124, and try these questions of 16.3, which is some triangular and more irregular prisms for you to try. Okay, and of course check your answers at the back.